You ever notice how every lifter online is suddenly science-based? One's obsessed with stretch, another floods TikTok with studies, some guys actually lift heavy and look the part, and then you've got the drama kings pretending to be scientists while selling fat burners. Let's break down the types, because not all science is created equal. 1. The stretch cult. This is the crew that made stretch-mediated hypertrophy the hottest topic in lifting. People like Jeff Nippard, Dr. Mike Israetel, Renaissance periodization, even Milo Wolf. They'll tell you that what happens when the muscle is long and loaded might be the real growth signal. And to be fair, they're not wrong. Studies do show that training at long muscle lengths can stimulate more hypertrophy in certain muscles, especially when comparing deep range of motion to partial short-range training. The good part is, these guys back up their points with actual research. You'll learn why deep squats can grow quads better than half squats, or why incline curls torch your biceps. They make science entertaining and they train hard themselves. But here's the nuance. Sometimes it sounds like stretching a muscle under load is the secret key to gains, when in reality it's one tool among many. Total weekly volume, intensity, recovery, those still matter more. Stretch work adds spice, not the whole recipe, so the stretch cult is valuable, but if you think lengthened partials alone will turn you into Chris Bumstead, you're in for disappointment. 2. TikTok science kids. Then we have the TikTok scientists. These are the 18-year-olds with a study screenshot in every video, quoting PubMed like it's scripture. Training programs, usually full body every other day, super high frequency, low volume. The idea is to maximize muscle protein synthesis spikes and get constant practice on big lifts, and technically there's research that supports some of these ideas. The problem is, TikTok isn't great for nuance. You'll hear, this exercise is superior, or this rep range is optimal, when the actual study usually had 10 untrained college kids doing leg extensions for 6 weeks. A lot of these kids haven't trained long enough to prove their methods with their own physiques. That's why they don't show their physique, or you see them in perfect lighting and filters instead of actually getting big. Still, TikTok science does serve a purpose. It introduces beginners to concepts like volume, frequency, and progressive overload. Just remember, citing a study doesn't replace years under the bar. If your coach looks like he's still in freshman dorms, take the advice as theory, not gospel. 3. Noble natties. Now, the noble natties, these are the rare science-based lifters who actually look the way they train, and they're open about being natural. Channels like Basement Bodybuilding or GVS show what steady, consistent lifting can really do over time. No gimmicks, no secret hacks, just years of progressive overload, good nutrition, and realistic expectations. This group is valuable because they don't just read studies, they live them. They track their own progress, compare training blocks, and actually test what the research says in the real world. And you can trust that their results are achievable without PEDs. If you're a beginner or even intermediate lifter, this is the most practical group to follow. You won't get wild promises, but you'll get frameworks that work. Noble natties remind you that muscle growth is a marathon, not a sprint, and that science-based lifting is about evidence and experience. 4. Drama chasers. And finally, the drama chasers. Think Greg Doucette or channels built more around reaction videos than training programs. These guys technically cite studies, but the real content is entertainment. Screaming into the camera, calling everyone fake natty, selling their own supplements while roasting others for being sellouts. Yes, I am talking about turkesterone. The drama gets views, and sure, sometimes you do get useful advice buried in there, but the main product is outrage and entertainment. Greg, for example, built his brand calling out fake natties and then pivoted into selling overpriced supplements. That's not science, that's marketing with a lab coat on. The risk with this group is confusing noise with knowledge. They make you laugh, they stir the pot, but if you try to build your training around whatever they yelled about this week, you'll be lost in contradictions. Drama is fun to watch, but it won't help you grow muscle. So that's the spectrum. The stretch cult bringing you the latest hypertrophy hype, the TikTok scientists flooding feeds with citations, the noble natties proving science works in practice, and the drama chasers turning fitness into a soap opera. They all wear the science-based label, but how you use that information is up to you. Science is a tool, not a personality type, and in the end, the barbell doesn't care what YouTube channel you watched. It only cares what you actually lift.